Hey guys, let's prepare this delicious Singapore noodles. It's so healthy and nutritious. So this is the pack I'm using. First of all, you can actually use any type. You can use rice stick or Singapore noodles. First off, I added water. This is hot water into the dry stick and allowed it to settle in for 3 minutes so it can, soften a bit. Just for 3 minutes. You don't want to leave it there for long, and after that you can put it inside cold water so you can stop the cooking process and be sure that it's no more cooking. And then you sieve out the cold water and just let it sit there in the sieve or the pan, anywhere you want to leave it. So this is actually a very lovely meal. This Singapore noodles, I love the way it's so chewy in the mouth and it's just so tiny, and the fact is this food is actually nutritious, and you can actually prepare it with any protein of your choice, but today we are using beef. You can use chicken, beef, or any. So I season it with curry powder, ginger and garlic powder, onion powder. Of course, you can add all the normal ingredients for your meat like thyme. The ingredients are listed in the description box as well. I added just 1 Maggi cube and I added soy sauce. This soy sauce is like something you shouldn't skip, just a few drops. And I also added this spicy chili sauce. This is really not too much, just a bit, few drops. And after that, I added barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is actually optional, but I'm so in love with barbecue sauce. And this particular one is chili sauce. This is barbecue chili sauce, so it's actually spicy. So if you don't like spicy things, avoid this. So I mixed it really well and allowed it to sit together and settle in for a couple of minutes. As you can see, this is just going to sit in here for a while I go on with preparing the other ingredients. So I'm also using bell peppers. These are bell peppers. There are different types of bell peppers, as you know, but then you can actually use vegetables of your choice. But bell peppers are quite compulsory. Carrot is very necessary for this recipe, and onion bulb. If you want to throw in other, veggies, it's also okay. But this is just what I'm using. I'm also using 2 eggs and just 1 scotch bonnet pepper, the spicy pepper. Just 1. You can add more if you want. But everything depends on the quantity. As you can see, mine is not so much. So I placed my pan on fire. And now, as you can see, it's just this pan I'm using because I want it to really be large, so that I can fry really well, stir fry, So I added oil and then I broke in the 2 eggs. I'm using just 2 eggs as I showed earlier. You can use more egg if you have, but just 2 is not bad for the quantity I'm using. A minute or 2, you can see this egg is actually ready, and I actually boiled some by the side. So I'm just going to scoop out this one and set it aside, then add another vegetable oil, just a little like you saw, and mix it thoroughly in the pan because I want to grease my pan. As you know, it's very important. Next, I'm going to add the beef I set aside earlier. As you can see, the beef is already ready, and everything is just giving. So I just added it into the pan, and as you can see, just sizzling, but you of course have to stir. You have to really stir fry, and the sizes I cut this meat, as you can see, is so thin, slim and small, so it's so easy for it to really stir fry and cook, and at the same time get done real quick. So when you are doing this process, make sure your meat is not just so large or big. So I just mixed thoroughly for a couple of minutes, and when it's cooked, you're gonna know because you're gonna taste it and you see that your meat is ready. It's soft, tender, and the color is gonna change from pink to brown, like when the meat is cooked. So after that, the next thing is to set it aside as well, because these are just part of the finishing for this recipe. So you're just trying to make sure that you get everything ready at this point. Like I said earlier, you can actually use glass noodles or rice sticks. They're all the same thing. You can use any of that, so at this point I added vegetable oil again. This is the time to start my cooking process, the main dish. So after adding oil, I added onion bulbs. As you can see, I just added this quantity. You can add more if you want, or if you're so in love with onion, but don't forget I added onion powder in my meat earlier. So after adding the onion, I added carrots and other veggies. These are the bell peppers. I'm just using the yellow bell pepper and the red bell pepper. And note that you can also cut your bell peppers and carrots to be like straight line, vertical, long shape. But I just prefer using this particular shape because I was actually cooking for little kids, and yeah, this is just what I wanted. Then I added this mixed veggies of thyme and other dried ingredients. Then I added a little bit of soy sauce again, and then I mixed and stir fried. Don't forget, guys, I added just a little of all this, curry powder, thyme and all those dry ingredients and soy sauce, just a little bit. As you can see, it's just a few drops because I already added enough in my meat. So that is that. After a while, it's not just going to overcook, so you have to be really careful when making this dish. Just stir fry for a few minutes. If you want to add Maggi cube, also it depends on the quantity of noodles you are making. This Singapore noodles is so tiny, and you don't have to add too much ingredients. So I added just half of that. Now you saw. Mixed thoroughly. After some seconds, I added the Singapore noodles I set aside earlier. As you can see, it's just so tiny, and I didn't break it earlier because it's still going to break after all when you start the mixing like I'm doing. So it's still going to break. So there is no need to really break it, initially. So I just mix really well till these Singapore noodles combine together with the veggies and everything in the pan. And after that, I added eggs. These are the eggs I already fried earlier. And next is the beef. I added this beef as well. If you also have shrimp, you should add shrimp. Shrimp is just one of the best as well. I also threw in some spinat and extra veggies, like green veggies. And I mixed everything really well. Added the 3-boiled egg I cooked earlier because this dish is actually for 3 people. So I mixed everything really well. As you can see, it's ready and it's so sumptuous. The good thing about this is you can actually use chicken breasts or any type of meat, any type of protein. It's okay, you can use any. It's also yummy. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Join us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I love you all. Let's see you on my next one. Bye-bye.
Subscribe.